everyone, and welcome to The Brake Run. My name is Frank.
And my name is Kevin, and today we're going to be bringing to you the first episode in a brand new ongoing series. Today, we're going to be talking about safety in theme parks and on roller coasters.
Awesome. So Kevin, today I want to talk about the stats on basically how exactly are roller coasters and theme parks safe. So according to IAAPA, Kevin, what are the stats on theme park ride safety?
Sure. So theme parks are actually one of the safest activities that you can do. So IAAPA, the industry organization for the theme park industry, which stands for the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, they do a survey every year and they find that out of over 400 parks in the United States, 370 million people enjoy 1.7 billion rides throughout their stay
That's crazy.
at theme parks. Yes, it is
That's
crazy.
wild to think about.
And if you really look at the numbers when it comes to injuries or safety incidents, the chances of being seriously injured on a ride, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
1 in 18 million.
Wow. And that's not like getting like a bruise or getting a cut or falling while you're walking there. That's like seriously getting hurt. We have to go to the hospital.
Exactly. So Frank, that number is for rides. So what are your chances of being seriously injured on a ride? 1 in 18 million. But let's look at what some other common things, common causes of death in the United States or any kind of crazy injury.
Yeah.
And let's boil down what the odds are of that compared to maybe riding a roller coaster.
Yeah, awesome. So according to the National Safety Council, the chances of you dying from heart disease is 1 in 7. So out of 7 people, 1 person dies of heart disease. Drug overdose is 1 in 96. Car accident, 1 in 114. Falling, 1 in 127. Excessive heat, 1 in a little over 16,000. A dog bite, 1 in about 112,000. And then a lightning strike, which almost rarely ever happens, is 1 in 161,000.
So hit me with the roller coaster death.
You ready? So the chance of you actually dying on a roller coaster is 1 in 750 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So that's really safe if you think about it.
You have a higher chance of being struck by lightning like 3 times.
More than that, yeah.
Than you do, way more than that, than you do them by having some kind of fatal injury on a roller coaster.
We're actually going to die, yeah. And obviously that number, according to IAAPA, will be a little bit smaller from getting hurt. But that's actually like you dying on a ride.
Yep.
All right, so we just talked about how safe these rides are and how roller coasters are. But why do so many people think roller coasters are so dangerous? Because we worked in many different theme parks. We go to theme parks a lot as a guest, and we met or seen people that are too afraid to do a roller coaster or do a ride because they're like, if I do that ride, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fall out. But why is that?
So I think it's interesting. Roller coasters are very similar to sharks, and if it's true, if you look at sharks, your chances of being injured by a shark bite or killed by a shark is very, very, very small. But you have perceptions like Jaws and other shark media-based
Shark Weekend.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of, as terrible as it sounds, paint sharks in a negative light.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you look at roller coasters. Final Destination 3.
Yep.
You look at other movies where they get stuck on a roller coaster. Think about when a roller coaster gets stuck on the top of the lift hill, it's always all over the local news.
Yeah.
And people, if you constantly see negative, like we don't see any positive news about how a roller coaster ran fully operational today with no issues. But if you constantly see over time negative news, you're going to have an unsafe perception.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen too is if you're with your friends at a park and you see they're doing an evac, which is people are trained to do. It's not like a normal thing, but it does happen. You're gonna take out your cell phones, record it, have a vlog video, post it on Facebook. That's gonna get shared, so it's gonna almost build that fear. And so, but like when a normal thing like stopping on a lift happens, but like what's the cause of it? Because it might seem like out of a crazy, bizarre thing for a normal guest, but it's kind of normal.
Yep. So essentially, a roller coaster. If you look at the entire length of a roller coaster, it's divided into different segments that are called blocks.
Yep.
Now, the blocks are areas of the track where only one train can operate at a time.
Yep.
Now, you've been to a theme park before. You may wonder, okay, this 16-year-old teenager is responsible for all of these guests on this attraction. Not necessarily the case. The roller coaster has an internal computer system and safety mechanisms that kind of do the job for the teenagers and the other employees that are working on the attraction. So their responsibility as an employee is simply just to put people on the ride and make sure the lap bar is secured. But if you look at the actual computer, it's controlling how many trains are in different areas of the track, how fast the trains are going, and does it need to maybe put the brakes on a little bit or maybe speed up the lift hill. But when a roller coaster stops at the top of the lift hill, that means that there was an issue with the ride's internal safety system and it triggered a fail-safe reaction. So it could be that there was nothing wrong. A lot of times there's sensors all throughout the track that detect if a train's going by, and if a bird flies by the sensor, it could easily detect it as a train and then immediately trigger a fail-safe and stop everything where it is.
Yeah, so some of these rides, they're just so safe that they trick themselves out thinking there's something wrong when there's something really wrong. And me with working on many different roller coasters, sometimes it will get stuck on the lift hill. Like if you have a roller coaster that's running 2 trains, you're gonna have to be holding the dispatch button until the second train gets back to the station. If someone sneezes, their hand comes off, it's gonna stop on the lift hill. So like you have these normal things that will happen, but it's like a common thing, but then,
So what I'm getting at, Frank, is that roller coasters are designed to be as safe as possible when it comes to, if anything happens, it almost assumes the worst to prevent any kind of issue happening. That's why your chances of dying on a roller coaster are so small. Because really the fail-safes built in are incredible.
So now, Kevin, to start wrapping things up, we kind of talked about the exact safety specs on how safe these rides are. We talked about why so many people are sometimes afraid of rides and like the psychological perception of fear and the fear of unknown and thinking that roller coasters are actually dangerous when they're not. And we kind of talk about the safety specs on how roller coasters are so safe. So I think maybe next time we could kind of dive into when, God forbid, an accident happens, what is the exact cause of it?
Yeah, that sounds great. And I'm sure that people are kind of curious. Obviously, nothing is ever perfect. So in our next segment, we'll talk all about what happens when things go wrong and maybe how we can avoid that moving forward, both as industry professionals, as guests, and employees.
So let us know what you guys think. Do you really think theme parks and roller coasters are that safe? Are there any roller coasters or rides that you thought were maybe not that safe? Let us know in the comments.
And is there anything that we said today that maybe might change your opinion on whether or not you want to ride a roller coaster someday? Let us know that too.
As always, thank you so much for tuning in and have a great day.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. I
want to talk about how exactly are theme parks safe?